Ozma was not having a good day. The inn had been out of breakfast potatoes. She'd had to change a wagon wheel an hour out of town, and now she was being asked to prevent thousands from dying needlessly in a hellstorm of flame and fury. She hadn't even worn the right shoes for it. Her nice little red boots were made for dazzling buyers, charming customers, and not, as she specifically said when she joined Avenel and Family whiskey makers, trekking her magnificent ass up an incredibly steep cliff. Maybe not specifically, but she was sure that cliffs were covered in the reasonably long list of places she would not haul her ass. But then, she reasoned, she was pretty sure she'd never have agreed to be escorted up a cliff with the threat of painful death should she not. "Listen, you want to sit still back there?" And yet, she glowered up from beneath her hat, her very, very sweaty hat, at the back of the man's messy head of hair. Man was as close a descriptor as she could decide on for him. He was male, tall, and with the lean fighting muscles she liked so well, but the rest of him was a mystery. His clothes were an ill-fitting shirt and baggy trousers, cinched in some vague attempt at the imperial style by a thick cloth sash. An immense amount of skin, marred by scars, and a tattoo of a thick tree trunk was on display, which she didn't mind, but his long brown hair was a greasy mess, a match for his stubble-caked face, which she did mind. He looked like a bandit. She'd have been happy to call him one, but bandits rarely smelled so strongly of silk grass, and the pipe dangling from his lip positively reeked. And no bandit she had ever heard of carried a thick piece of wood at their hip instead of a sword. "Not to complain or anything." The man exhaled a cloud of smoke that coiled over the crown of his head to blow back into her face. "Actually, a lot of people, including me, are going to die if you fuck this up. So I guess I do mean to complain a little." "Wow, what amazing advice," Ozma replied, her breath heavy with nerves. "This entire time, I've been wondering what I could possibly do to make your life easier." She glowered at the back of his head as hard as she could. He couldn't see it, but she damn well hoped he would feel it. "Need I remind you, sir, that I am doing a service for you?" "You're doing it because we're dead if you don't." "That doesn't make it not a service. And if you hadn't noticed," she gestured to her own short, chubby, and impeccably dressed self, "I'm not particularly built for this." "I had noticed, actually." He struggled to cast a glare over his shoulder at her, which, considering their position, was difficult. "Why the fuck do you think I agreed to carry you? Your perfume isn't that nice." Ozma furrowed her brow. "It's not like I enjoy this either. I left a lot, and I must stress, a lot, of whiskey back with my wagon that I would hate to lose while I'm doing this favor for you." "I told you. I'm good to cover whatever you lose." The man snorted twin plumes of smoke out his nostrils. "Your war profiteering won't suffer." Despite everything else about him, Ozma had actually been rather close to liking him before he said that. But the words did not so much cut her as fashion themselves into a huge fucking axe and embed themselves in her back. It wasn't the first time she'd been accused of that. How could it be? Once the Boros Valley exploded, the rest of the scar wasn't far behind. There wasn't a freehold, a town, a hamlet, or even a fucking hovel between here and the valley that hadn't been racked by the Imperium's and Revolution's latest cock-measuring contest. Nor was there anything new about that. Being crushed between the two powers was something every Scarfolk expected. Normally.